Find out about this awesome product. Find out what you need to do to get you some, and let them know the Ridin Durty Show and Vic XL sent you. All right? All right. Now, today is September the 15th, Friday. I don't have any celebrity birthdays or any of my Facebook friend birthdays, or even hip-hop birthdays. It's like no one that I know that has been influential in my life was born on September 15th. Go figure. So we're going to move past the birthdays and get right into hip-hop news. One time for my man 2 Chainz. His brand new album, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, has been certified gold. That's 500,000 copies for those who don't know. So congratulations to 2 Chainz for another gold-selling album. I also want to say congratulations to my man Bun B. That's right, Houston rapper Bun B had a telethon, and the telethon has raised over $44 million for basically Hurricane Harvey relief. So one time for Bun B for raising over $44 million in his telethon. A lot of people feel like, oh, hip-hop is negative. It doesn't do anything good. Well, Bun B's here to tell you something completely different because they have raised $44 million, and that's great for a hip-hop artist. One time for my man Jeff Cherie, if you are not familiar, my man Rick Ross, The Dream, and someone else, they done a reality show looking for new artists on VH1, and my man Jeff Cherie, the Haitian Mustafa, actually won the contest, and he has now officially been signed to Rick Ross's label, MMG. So one time, and congratulations to my man Jeff Cherie. And lastly, I gotta tell y'all about an album. If y'all don't know, for the past couple years, I've been getting heavy into Latin trap. One time for the group Manos, one time for the group Los Yacos, my man Ozuna, Bad Bunny. Well, right now, my favorite artist in the Latin trap community, or the genre of Latin music, is Farruko. And Farruko just released his brand new album called Trap Vicenta. And I might be mispronouncing it, but it's called Trap Vicenta. It was just released. He has a record called Creepy Kush that is really creeping, hence, that's really creeping up the charts. So if you get a chance, download my man's Farruko's album off Spotify and check out the song Creepy Kush. All right, now, with that being said, one time for everybody on my Facebook Live line, I thank y'all for checking in, man. Y'all the real Ridin Durty fam. One time for y'all. I got to announce this before I bring on my guests. Y'all know we have the contest, support equals support. The contest was basically very, very simple, and it ran from August to September. Basically, all you had to do was watch the Ridin Durty Show and share it. That's all you had to do was share the Ridin Durty Show. Once you share the show, then you will be entered in the contest. It's very simple. And the winner of basically every time you share the show, we will enter your name in a hat, and at the end of the month, I will be drawing out someone, and that person will receive a gas card. Well, you can share it one time or 100 times, but the more times you share the show, the more times your name entered the hat. And I would like to say, on behalf of the entire staff of the Ridin Durty Show, congratulations to Miss Sandra Jerez. I'm probably saying Sandy's name wrong, but congratulations to Sandy. She is the winner of the August sharing gas card ASAP. Okay? All right. So, again, congratulations to Sandy. Keep sharing the show. Keep telling your friends about the Ridin Durty Show. And, hey, man, like I say, support equals support. Sharing is caring. We do this show for the people, and we're trying to get to next level. So, again, it's going on. September. Sharing is caring. Brand new contest. All you got to do is share the Ridin Durty Show. The winner at the end of the month. The more you share, the more times your name go in the hat. The winner name will be pulled out the hat, and you will receive a free gas card courtesy of the Ridin Durty Show. All right, man. Again, I appreciate and love you guys for being so supportive of the show and giving us your time and energy. And I'm doing some crazy stuff on my phone. Again, y'all bear with me, all my Facebook people on Facebook Live. One time for my man Craig. I got a brand new single by my man Craig I'm going to be dropping. One time for my mother. One time for my man Shadrick. BJ, how you doing, girl? Hold your head. And with no further ado, if I don't have anything else I got to tell y'all about, like I said, make sure y'all get y'all some Dr. Juice cleanse. I got to say one time for the good people who are So Deaf who keep me with the vintage So Deaf hats. Somebody told me today they were going to slap me and make my so deaf man afro turn straight, but I ain't going to never get slapped. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with no further ado, like you know, the Ridin Durty Show, where we are all about the culture, we're all about the people, movers and shakers in our community, and today is no different from no other. We give you beats, rhymes, hip-hop, and everyday talk, and on the line I have life coach, Mr. Robert Kandell. How you doing today, sir?
Good. Thank you for being on the. Thanks for having me on your show.
Hey, being a fellow podcaster, I see you as welcoming to your show.
Oh yeah, that was my habit. It's so funny.
All right, let's start this thing off because I love asking. I've interviewed several life coaches, and I love asking people. And I hear different definitions. So I'm gonna start this off with you by asking you, what is your definition of a life coach?
Well, there's therapists, there's people with the training and people with medical, and that's not me, and I would never claim to be a therapist. A life coach to me is someone like an athletic coach, you're a trainer, that basically you get your goals, you say your goals, and then the life coach will take you from point A to point B and kick your ass anytime you falter from your goals. So my job as a life coach is to reflect, my job is to inspire, my job is to share my experience, and hopefully they succeed.
All right, where's Mr. Robert Kandell from? And what made you decide to take this career path?
Well, I grew up in Long Island, New York. I was a upper middle class boy, and I went to school and grad school and following the path of normalcy and just being a normal person. And then at 28, I actually went to Burning Man for the first time, and my entire life etch-a-sketched. And I saw a whole different world that I never knew growing up. I never learned in school. And I just followed this path from this inspiration, taking classes, learning a craft, and eventually opening a company that helped people with communication, intimacy, and sexuality.
Okay. How, at this point in your life, how rewarding has this career path been? Because I know you get to talk to a lot of people and help a lot of people.
Oh, it's amazing. I feel so grateful for this path. I'm so grateful for all the students and teachers and my detractors and people who say, do it right. And it's so rewarding every single day to wake up and help people. It's amazing.
All right. Let's go back to early Robert's life. What things do you think led to you even want to get into this career path? Were you younger and did someone come along and really help you in your life and it helped, move to this, or what actually led to it?
My mom was a therapist and I learned a lot from her. I had two very different parents. My father was an accountant, a businessman, entrepreneur, very rigid, brilliant, by the numbers. My mom was more empathic, more aware, and so I learned both sides from each of them. And then when my friends in high school would come to my house, they would tell my mom and my dad their problems more than they would tell me. And I was like, what's going on here? Why are you telling them? But my mom had such a graceful way of listening and approving that they felt really comfortable with her. So I think my mom was a huge influence on this life path.
Okay. I noticed when I was doing my research on information about you. In 2004, you co-founded One Taste.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that company.
One Taste started in San Francisco in 2004. Its mission was to redefine orgasm, the concept of orgasm and conscious sexuality in the world. And so we started with a center in San Francisco, teaching people a sexuality practice, teaching people how to talk to each other, how to listen, man-woman dynamics. And when I left it in 2014, it was an international 8-figure business. I did it for 10 years. I taught, 10,000 people. So it's still going strong.
What made you walk away? I mean, from an 8-figure business, you know how many people can't say they was part of an 8-figure business, even being founder, more or less working for one?
I basically burned out 10 years, 70, 80-hour weeks, pretty much consistently. I was traveling nonstop. My health was declining from the stress, and I felt like I had completed my mission. And I had left the company in really good shape. They took care of me, selling my shares, and so I was just ready for a new life.
And that led you to your company now, which is?
I have consulting. I have kind of a split personality. I have a business coach side where I help small businesses as a CFO, as helping them with logistics. And I also am a life coach, podcaster, author. So it's called Kandell Consulting. And I also do a podcast called Tough Love that happens every week.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Tough Love, the podcast, because I love podcasts. I think I've gotten to a point in my life where I actually listen to more podcasts than I watch television. Tell us a little bit about your podcast, Tough Love, why you, number one, you chose the name, what type of guests you had, when we can hear it. Tell us about the podcast.
Tough Love is kind of how my coaching style. Tough Love is the kind of truth that you don't want to hear, you're kind of nervous about hearing, and someone says it to you and it kind of burns in your chest and your heart aches a little bit, but then you feel so much better because someone has been friendly enough to tell you the authentic truth rather than the muddy down, stuff we tell each other these days. And so that's my modus operandi for coaching, is that form of truth telling. The podcast is aired live every Thursday, 10 a.m. PST. It's a 45-minute show, a 20-minute rant on a topic, relationship, jealousy, communication, sexuality. And then I do a live coaching in the second half of the show, take the audio and publish it every Monday.
All right. I do have a question for you, a tough love question for you, because I have a guest who's actually checking out the show right now. And
okay.
We're going to see if we can help him. I'm not going to call his name, but he's watching.
Okay.
He's watching the show and listening to the show as we speak.
Okay.
He has an issue. He's height challenged. He's not a dwarf, a little bit taller than a midget, but he's height challenged and he's a bully. And I just need to get him some help and some self-love so he stop picking on tall people. What can we tell him?
Well, height challenged, weight challenged, we all have challenges. Some have less than others, but they're all challenges that we face in the world. It sounds like he's used his challenge as an excuse to live in his anger and his resentment rather than being in agreement with who he is. There's an incredible speaker and author named Sean Stephenson, who I think is less than 4 feet, and he has a model wife, an incredible speaker, and an incredible attitude. You can hear, him speak. He just knocks you out. And what he did is he took his situation, his life-endangering situation, and turned it into his power. And you can turn anything that you have and you think is wrong or bad about you, you can flip that into something that, empowers you and creates you and becomes your special key. So your guy who's height challenged, he's mad at the world, he lives in that bitterness. He spouts that bitterness, but that bitterness has got to be the most inside his body. So for him to get right with who he is, accept what God gave him, and turn his attention, I think is the only way he's going to find peace and calmness in the world.
You know what? And he's listening, and I'm sure he appreciates that because he needs peace and calmness. Because not only is he height challenged, he picks on tall people, but he wears girl socks.
Yeah, well, we can all use fashion help as well, but the point is that he's the one suffering the most. He might be spouting and bullying others, but, for him, there's possibility of peace. There's possibility of clarity. He just has to embrace who he is.
Embrace who he is. That's the word for the day. Embrace. He needs to embrace. All right, Mr. Robert, let's talk a little bit more about yourself. Like how challenging is it, number one, being an entrepreneur, having a business that helps people? Are people very willing to come forward and talk to you and receive help?
Well, the first thing is It's very hard to be an entrepreneur. It's very hard to be what's called a solopreneur, someone who works by himself. I was just working with a client yesterday. He is a graphic designer. He used to work for a big house and was used to the deadlines. And now that he's working for himself, he has a lot of trouble keeping his own deadlines because he's so used to the intensity of it. So it's really hard to work for yourself and be in business because you've got to do everything or make enough money to hire someone to help you. So that's one thing. The second part of your question is people find me. I have a large following on my podcast. I've been a teacher and a speaker for 18 years. So people come to me, and once they hire me, it's amazing how open they are and how willing they are to throw themselves in my hands for me to guide them to the next evolution of their life.
All right, when you were a teacher, like what grades did you teach?
No, I was a teacher for One Taste. We taught adult classes, very adult classes.
Okay. I do have a question though. Are you a fan of hip hop music?
Mm-hmm. I do like some hip hop music. I'll admit it's not my favorite genre, but there's certain songs that just I'm kind of a nerd to hip hop music, so like I'm always willing to learn new artists but I think they're so talented. I think they're amazing.
All right. If you were a rapper, what would your rap name be?
DJ RBK.
You answered that so fast. Obviously, you've put some thought into that.
Well, when I was younger, much younger, I'm 47 now. I always wanted to be a DJ. I mean, this was before the internet, before all these, DJs were the coolest things ever. And so, yeah, I used to pretend I was DJ RBK. So that's a childhood secret. Don't tell anyone.
Oh, I won't tell anyone, just a few people that are listening. So if you had your choice to be an internationally known DJ or the Super Bowl winning quarterback, which would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I would go with the DJ. I think, quarterbacks are cool, but there's so much pressure on quarterbacks, and you have to keep doing it year after year. Yeah, I'm going with the DJ, because then I could, also, my body would be intact. So, yeah, I'm going with the music.
Okay. All right. How do you juggle being a life coach, being an entrepreneur, being a podcaster, and being a father? Like, how do you juggle all those hats and do it successfully?
The main thing is I'm very organized. And I think this is a lot of issues for entrepreneurs. Like, I have set schedules. I have a set time. I set myself up with, I have writing time to write on my book. I have time to work on a certain client. So I set myself up with a rigid schedule to create a container for myself. I also won't work more than 40 hours a week unless I have to. Happens every once in a while. But I really am trying to make my family and my children the highest priority. And so when every night we have dinner together, so making those priorities as the set of my schedule, I find time and then I can create inside that time. But being organized is uber important.
All right. Tell me, because you mentioned something that's very important to me, and I think that in today's society we lack. You said your family, every night you guys have dinner together. Talk to us about the importance of that family unity and that structure, because like nowadays, it's like if you get lucky to see a family eating dinner together, everybody's texting or taking selfies and not paying attention. Just tell us a little bit about how important it is to you and that dynamic for you and your family.
It's so important. I mean, I spent 10 or 12 years dedicated to my work and those 80-hour weeks I was talking about and nonstop. And family and relationship came secondary, tertiary, or sometimes on the top of the list. Then I met my fiance, and I'm actually co-parenting, not parenting. I'm co-parenting her two girls. And I've just found I actually am happier, healthier, more energized. If I take a break from the work and get the love and intimacy that they provide, it actually empowers me. And so I've just made a life choice. I'm like, this is more important. Family is more important than work. Work will find its place. Money will find its place. And by putting it at the top of the list, my whole life has gotten bigger and better.
All right. Do you involve your family in your work at all?
Not really. I mean, I talk about Morgan, my fiance, on my podcast quite a bit, much to her horror sometimes. I talk about my relationship with the kids. Beyond that, not so much.
All right. I want to go back. Let's talk about you being an author. If someone wants to read your material, how could they go about finding it, and what are some of the titles?
I'm actually writing a book proposal for my first book called Unhidden. Unhidden is a book for men and those confused by them. So that book I'm pitching Hay House, which is a great publishing house. But if you want to read some of my writing samples, you can find it at toughlove.live/media. I've got a whole bunch of my writing up there, as well as my podcast and some videos I've done. But the book is, still in proposal state. I'm hoping to find a publisher and get that out at 2018, 2019.
All right, and I want to we got about 5 minutes, so we're going to wrap this thing up. But I want to get back to something that's extremely near and dear to my heart and give you a chance to speak on anything we might have missed. I'm a podcaster. I've actually done radio.
Mm-hmm.
I've done radio for over 15 years, and I'm still doing radio and transcending into the podcasting field. Can you tell people a little bit about podcasting, because a lot of people still don't understand? So tell people about podcasting and its importance and the type of guests you have on your show.
Podcast has been around for maybe 10 or 11 years. It started off by Apple, and Apple were selling music for $1 a song. And what they saw was that people were really, to get more people on the iPods and get more people connected to the music store, they started to allow individuals, Joe Schmo versus ESPN, to create audio files, upload it to a server, and then list it on the Apple Music Store for free. And they didn't charge for the podcast. And so what Apple did was basically give anyone with a recorder and some savvy and some tech savvy the way to get their own show, do their own music, speak about their own thing. And so podcast has blown up, and there's thousands or hundreds of thousands of podcasts at this point. So to do a podcast, you really need a good recorder, a good microphone, good content. Create a file, MP3, upload it to the right place, and you're a podcaster. That's it. I actually did a show a couple weeks ago on how to do a podcast, so you can find that at toughlove.live. And the type of guests I have are really the range. I like people with unique ways of helping others in the world, teachers and life coaches and writers and authors and musicians. So I like to have guests, and I have a guest the second and last Thursday of every month.
Okay. How has podcasting helped your product and your business?
It's been a huge impact. Just having a podcast, it gives you social cred. You're a podcaster. It means that you actually are dedicated to your craft. So my viewpoint is that having a podcast lifts you up a level in the eyes of your potential customers. Through the podcast,
90
I've
seconds.
Quite a few clients, several tens of thousands of dollars worth of services over the last 2 years. And it also is a great way for people to vet to see if I'm the right coach for them. Because I'll say, well, go do this podcast and see if you like my style. If you do, let's do some work together. If you don't, then I'll recommend someone else. And so it's been a really great way for people to get a feel for me. So overall, it's been a huge benefit to my business.
All right, Mr. Kandell, I definitely appreciate you coming on the show. Is there anything that you'd like to speak on that we haven't had a chance to talk about?
I have an Indiegogo campaign, Kickstarter-like campaign going on right now to help me support my book proposal. I could use any help. $1 for an email address. You get a free chapter. $20 to pre-sell the book. You get 15 minutes of coaches. $99 gets you 5 books and 45 minutes of coaching. And you can find it at toughlove.live. That's TUFFlove.live/unhidden. Anyone supporting is truly appreciated. There's a video about what I do, and any questions, please let me know.
All right. In closing, tell the people how to find you. Tell them the website again and any social media.
10 seconds.
The way to find me is toughlove.live, TUFF love.live, and on that, my page, there's links to all my social media. That's where you can find the podcast. You can subscribe to me in iTunes. There's a button that walks you through it. So thank you so much, and I'm really grateful for being on your show.
Thank you for coming on the show and continued success, and I definitely will be checking out your podcast.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was life coach, podcaster, Mr. Robert Kandell. Y'all definitely, when you get a chance, check him out, follow him, visit his webpage at toughlove.live. Hey, man, y'all need to learn something about yourselves. All right, my man Robert to help lift you up. All right, I got a brand new song. Song of the day is by my man Crazed. The name of this joint is Ego. I haven't given y'all a little R&B in a while. So here's my man Crazed representing that Macon, Georgia. The name of this joint is Ego. This is Ridin Durty song of the day. And I'll be back with y'all live Sunday night at 11 p.m. Until then, man, love yourselves and embrace your lameness. Peace.
Girl, you've been all on my mind. I'm on yours and you know it. I think it's about time. Girl, I'm ready to come show it. I'm to business. Cause you've been what I'm missing. Can't nobody do it like this. Girl, ain't no competition that I might see. Oh, girl, if only you knew. I swear that you'll prepare yourself. I swear I'ma take it there. Can't nobody love you.
One time for my man Craig. The name of this joint is Ego.
Can't nobody touch you. And tonight I'm gonna prove it, girl. My love is the truest, girl. Ego. But tonight you have been waiting now. Oh, can't nobody love you. Can't nobody touch you. There's a phone the world. We'll do a rest. Got you under my surveillance. That money will protect. I know you'll be saying I'm conceited, baby. But you ain't it like this, girl. Telling me dismiss, girl. Can't nobody do it like me. I ain't worried about those other niggas, girl. They can't compete. Oh, girl, if only you knew. You wouldn't want nobody else to get it after me. Can't nobody love you. Can't nobody touch you. Can't nobody fix you. And tonight I'm gonna prove it, girl. My love is the truest, girl.
One time for my man Hit Class Craig. The name of this joint is Ego. Y'all make sure y'all follow him on Facebook. Deontay, Hit Class, Craig Gibson. Maybe he'll send y'all a copy of this joint. I know a lot of y'all young folks don't know how to slow drag. If you're over 30 years old, you remember when they used to play 5 slow songs, then 5 fast songs, 2 slow songs.
Touch you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy Vic XL. This has been the Ridin Durty show, and we out of here. Till next time, man. Appreciate, love y'all for checking out the show. Again, y'all know we come to y'all at 3 p.m. during the week and at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday nights. Love y'all, man. Y'all could have been doing anything else but watching and listening to me. So if you did, I appreciate you. If you want to go back and listen to the live streams, you can follow us on Mixcloud and SoundCloud at Ridin Durty Radio, on Blogtalk Radio at Ridin-Dirty-Radio, on YouTube at Ridin Durty TV, or you can always go down on the Facebook page and check out the live. At the beginning of the show, I had some technical difficulties. I think I deleted it because my camera was doing some crazy stuff. It's all good, man. Thank y'all for checking in. Again, my man Hit Class Crad, this song was Ego. It's the Ridin Durty song of the day, and y'all can check that thing out on iTunes. All right, love y'all, man. I'm out of here. Peace.